what will I see? I was able to see my grandmother that I grown up with in Gomata. And the youths were challenging me that they want us to bring something for their self-defense. And we didn't do anything. And look at it here. When I saw her corpse, the youths are the one that opened her chest for me. And I saw a broken knife. There was no heart. They asked me, would they remove that knife? I said, no, leave it there. Let that knife become a weakness for us when eternity comes.
Hello family, welcome to this episode. Quick one, I want to take a look at the Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, who in tears in an interview where he talks about the genocide in Nigeria, the experience, the people that have died, and so many things. So I want you to watch this video and take your time, don't rush, watch this video. You will learn something. You see the pain, the agony, the tears, how so many people died, how people were killed, people were axed to death without doing anything. Watch the interview. Watch him in tears, and I'll be right back. So take your time, don't rush. Watch.
Thank you so much for being here again, sir.
Thank you very much, Mike.
The stories of insecurity in Nigeria has once again been brought to the fore, and this time the President of the United States has warned that if the federal government of Nigeria does not act fast, there might be a military intervention in the country. But then again, the government has refused to accept that these claims of insecurity are pertaining to a particular religion. They say that insecurity affects every single person, religion or not, and it's not religiously motivated. But this time we have Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, who has been saying that these killings are religiously motivated, targeted at the Christians. And today he has come with claims and proofs that he says are the things that he sees that makes him talk about this with so much passion.
Let's look at, to prove to you this is religion. They know. Look at Deborah killing. No cleric of Islamic condemn it. The mission of Leah is to show the world that they are in control of Christians. Nobody can do anything. The issue of Muslim ticket, that's a complete genocide to the Christian in Nigeria. All plans towards Islamic people to take over Nigeria. Special advisor on security matters is a position that has become a birthright for Islam. Look at it. A non-cleric, Sheikh Yahya Jingir, came out publicly and said they should stop arresting Fulani. And he's the leader of Izala, the strongest sect in Islam. And all his people are allegiant to what he said. No government condemned him. No single cleric. They were silent about it. The man was boastful. And you will say that this thing is not religion?
United States President Donald Trump made global headlines when he threatened that there might be, or they're considering a military intervention in Nigeria, and that is because of what he called a Christian genocide. However, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar of Nigeria, dismissed the claim, and he says it is false and inflammatory, and he insists that insecurity affects all of Nigerians equally. Now, my first question is, what exactly is your claim? Are you saying that Christians are being targeted in Nigeria? The killings in Nigeria are targeted? Or are you saying that Christians are disproportionately affected, even though the killing is targeted at everyone?
By the power of Jesus Christ, who came and died on the cross to redeem us from the power of sin. And we still call upon the name of the Lord Jesus Christ to deliver us from terrorists, Islamic terrorists, I said it confidently. Northern Islamic evil satanic agenda that want to take over this country and lure us to be like Turkey, to be like Afghanistan, to be like other nations that have no peace in the Islamic Middle East. A voice must cry out to invite the heavily throned government to interfere. And this is what is happening today. We have been crying out for over 30 years. Right from 2021. It is before that time, because 2021, this thing come glaring. There's a jihad moving to destroy Nigeria. Before 2021, there was a lot of casualties that will be received all over the north. I would say Nigeria. But it has been silenced, enduring the pain, until a launch of the jihad came 2001. And the full blown was just moving. We are just enjoying it, pressing it down. Women are being raped. Come and see, we have to be slave to the Islamic terrorists. They will force you to go and farm for them. If our local native people do not go and farm for them, then even if you farm, they know you have farmed, you will not harvest anything. Until this thing grown up to become a full-blown genocide. I have the statistics. I have been to the monument. I have called names. These are the names of people that have been killed in one day, one night, 501. This happened on the 7th March 2010 in Dogonawa, Gemburuk. Gemburuk is a local dialect name from our forefathers. When they came, gradually our forefathers accommodated them in peace. But when they grown up with external forces, they changed the name to Dogonawa. Abandon the native, this is a jihad movement. When they want to take the land, they invited Islamic terrorists from the far north, Niger, Chad. If Nigeria don't know about it, please know about this. Why did they cancel history in Nigerian secondary school? It's jihad. So that we will not read about the history of how Ottoman Danfodio was moving towards the cause to force everybody in Nigeria to become a Muslim. But our forefathers blocked him from flowing into the south. They hid that the west, southwest, southeast, south, that they are supposed to receive. We are the ones that are receiving it at the middle bed. We stop that heat by standing on our faith in Christ. We refuse to submit our soul to Islam. That is why in one night, look at it, 501 people were killed completely in one night. I was there in the morning after the insurgent left. Come and see blood everywhere. In the process of carrying dead corpse from every house, from some on the root, some on the field, some in the gutter. Depends on where they met you. They slaughtered you. A woman gave me a testimony that day. It was God in tears that saved her. When they came, they said, Pharaoh, because it was during the moonlight that very day. When they came, chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, entering this village, she saw one of the insurgents after he has beheaded the head, blood of a Christian victim. He licked the blood. She was watching him, shivering. With her child, she covered his mouth. This is a religion that chant Allah Akbar, calling people for worship. And the same religion, they shout Allah Akbar, calling people to come and kill.
Okay, but Reverend, are we now saying that all of the 500 plus persons that were killed that night are Christians?
All of them are Christian. You see, when they came in, the factuals in Borno, they follow villages. On Sunday, they will enter a village and meet people worshiping on Sunday. And they will separate the male from the female. And all the male in the local area, like Gwaza area, Madagali, these are in the North Borno area. And this is what is happening. Do you know something? They will slaughter all the male. Those that will survive in that church, they may have not come to church and they were able to escape death. And the women, they will select the one that they needed. They will rape them. They will do what they want. And this is one, they will leave the children at the mercy. Many of the Christian women relocated to the Middle Belt. And their land was seized. Their crops was vandalized. And even as I'm talking now, let the Nigerian government prove me wrong. Let them go to Ngoshe mountain around Gwaza. It has been occupied by Boko Haram. You can't climb that mountain. They declared it as their headquarters, a colony. And it is from there that they used to come down to come here. Now in all the village, after sending the Christian away, the Christian relocate. If you see Christian, it's in the urban area where there is security. Maybe inside Maiduguri, you find Christian. I've been there. And most of them, if you are to interview them, fact-finding, you will discover they run for refuge into the city. At least that's where they're getting covered. Rural areas of Borno, hardly you will find a Christian. The same thing in Katsina, the same thing in Zamfara, the same thing in Kano. If you are there as a Christian, you ought to be allegiant to them to control your life.
I want us to talk about the attacks, the alleged attacks in churches.
Yes.
Right. So you've shared harrowing accounts of your grandmother's heart being removed, and you also talked about your uncle's tongue being cut off.
Yes.
You also mentioned your best friend's wife and her kids, her 5 kids. You even said that she was, backing one of them. Now, recently, we saw that the pastor of Flaming Fire's ministry, Simon Black, was killed. But then he was killed in the farm. So all of these attacks, were they carried out in churches, or were most of them carried out in churches or in different regions?
In different regions. Some on the farm, some outside on the way from the market going home. There will be ambush, and hardly you will hear that they butchered us. Even in the market, they can enter with AK-47 sporadically. And this is where they came to my village, Biei. It's in Riom local government, that's Riom district. Biei, this is where I grown up. And the Fulani knows that that is my village. They invented chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, sporadic shooting all over the village from different angles. And this is the sound of their ghosts. I don't know whether it comes from, is it Iraq or Iran or anything. You hear kukum, 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 kukum. This is the sound of the terrorists in Islam. And when they enter the village, and this is what happened. They move After that night, those that were able to escape helter-skelter, they were able to go and hide. Then they burned the villages. I was called. I have to take a journalist to that village the following morning because I wanted to go down there. They said, no, don't come this night. They can do something for you. I was crying. I couldn't sleep. My wife is here with me. She know I was restless in Bukuru that time. Until when it was in the morning, I was able to move. Is here with me. She know I was restless in Bukuru that time. Oh, come and see children that came out from the bush and they were in trauma. Women that hid themselves went reluctantly into the village. The youths that escaped, they gathered themselves and come back into the village. They were following me into the house. What will I see? I was able to see my grandmother that I grown up with in Gomata. And the youths were challenging me that they want us to bring something for their self-defense. And we didn't do anything. And look at it here. When I saw her corpse, the youths are the one that opened her chest for me. And I saw a broken knife. There was no heart. They asked me, would they remove that knife? I said, no, leave it there. Let that knife become a weakness for us when eternity comes. Wherever they are, they will not escape judgment. Then they say I should follow them again. Behind the yard, here is my uncle's corpse called Dangai. His tongue was removed. I asked the youth, they asked me, what will I do? That day, I was surprised to see the governor, Governor Jonah Jang. I had Serene. He came to the village, and you have to cross 2 rivers. He came, and we did the burial. 13 people were killed. The monument is there. We didn't build it, but by God's grace, we'll build it. They took me to my childhood friend. We grown up, Daliop gang. What will I see? I went into his house. I saw his wife, 4 children. They are on other side struggling, and the woman, there's nothing she can do. The fire just came down and burned them all. The woman quickly pulled her child at the back, seeking for the way to escape. I discovered they locked the door so that none of them will come out. That is how we buried her with her child at the back. The agony of Christian in Nigeria.
This is so sad. This is really sad, painful, that I don't even know what we call it. I don't know what we call it. It is just sad. We just call on Donald Trump to help us. Please. The government have failed us. They have really failed us. So I don't know. It's sad. I don't even know what to say. The pain, man, this man has really gone through hell. He has gone through hell. Serious hell. So I'll just say, let me bring this to your notice, and there'll be part 2 of the interview. So I'll post it when it's ready, and I'll post it. So don't rush. I hope you learn something from this video. When people come to say there's no genocide in Nigeria, that's a big lie. That's a blatant lie. Don't believe them. They live in lies. And some pastors are out there celebrating the mega church debut. Some pastors are out there celebrating, performing miracles, doing crusade up and down. But they forget not to talk about this. Stopped talking about. They never even talked about this genocide. But it's so sad, because this man does not have private jets. They don't celebrate him. That's one of the real man of God that we know we have now, because this man is dying for humanity's sake, preaching Christ, and dying for humanity. It's not about all these top pastors that, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's painful, and it's so sad that this thing is still happening in Nigeria. Well, it's nothing. What do I say? What do we need to do? So we got a pause, and then we just pray. We wish Donald Trump will come to our aid. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. God bless you. I'll see you on another episode. God bless you. Bye.